4-0 sweep yesterday. Let's run it back. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Marquee Picks. And today I got the NBA player props for you for Wednesday, January 21st. I got 4 more plays lined up for you guys today, so I'm really looking forward to showing you guys these picks for today. But we got to recap yesterday's very strong day here on the channel. On the 4 props that I posted on yesterday's video, we swept the board 4-0. Big time win yesterday. Drop a like down below if you guys tailed. Also, comment down below if you guys tailed the whole 4. Very big time profitable day here on the channel for the NBA yesterday. And, it was only a matter of time before we went flawless once again. It's been a little bit, but we're back on the winning track once again here today in a big way, I must say. So, yeah, let's go ahead and recap these props from yesterday. Starting it off here with Jamal Murray under 4.5 rebounds. It was a tough matchup for him. Now, he was one of my riskier plays in that analysis yesterday that I was telling you guys. But like I said, the Lakers are the number 2 toughest team when limiting rebounds to point guards. So I knew it was going to be a tough matchup, even though the Nuggets are without Nikola Jokic. And, one of the best rebounders in the NBA is not going to be out there. So others are going to have to step up for the Nuggets. It could have been Jamal Murray. But, yeah, Jamal Murray had a pretty big scoring day. He had 28, 11, and he picked up 2 rebounds. I'm kind of interested to see his PRA line because I think his PRA line was like 41.5, I believe. So that's interesting there. He would have, I think, got 41 on the dot there with the PRA stat. So, yeah, I didn't want to go with this PRA stat on the under because if you guys watched that game yesterday, he was on a heater in that first half. He didn't really do much in that second half scoring-wise. But, that's besides the point because we didn't really have his PRA stat. We had his rebounds, which was really under it throughout most of this game. And I believe they also did remove one of the rebounds from his stat lines. I didn't really watch much of this game. I was more watching the Kings and the Heat game. I'll tell you why in just a second. But, yeah, I watched like a little bit of the first quarter of this game. And he didn't get a rebound in that first quarter. I was like, okay, good start. And then I was just checking the box score the rest of the night. I wasn't really tuning into this game. But I did notice in that second quarter, like the end of the half, he had 2 rebounds. And then I checked again a little bit later, and he had 1 rebound. So they did remove one of his rebounds. So I was like, perfect. That works for me. So, yeah, he didn't really do much in the rebounding department. So strong projection there. Strong read here on the under by me. So moving into pick number 2, we had Coby White over 25.5 PRA. And this one was another scary one here. Pretty much because of the blowout risk. I don't know if you guys are watching any of this game, but the Bulls blew out the Clippers pretty bad here in this game. It was close for a little bit there. The Clippers made a little bit of a run in that third quarter. But the Bulls eventually did pull away there in that fourth quarter. And the Clippers started this fourth quarter with basically their second string. They had no starters on the court there to start that fourth quarter. They basically just threw this game away. They were down by like 20 points. They're like, okay, we're on a second night of a back-to-back. We're not going to send Harden out there anymore. Not going to send Zubac out there anymore. So that was basically a sign of the Clippers saying we're giving up and waving the white flag. So that's what immediately worried me because I was like, okay, the Bulls are probably going to do the same with their guys, right? But the Bulls left their starters out there for at least the start of the fourth quarter, and Coby White's sitting on 18 PRA, and we needed him to get over 25.5. So, a few minutes go by in that fourth quarter. Coby White, he's just going through the motions out there, not really doing too much. It's a blowout. Who cares? He's just trying to get this game over with. But about the 8-minute mark of this fourth quarter, I believe the Bulls were up by like 20-plus points at this point. The game's over. They're just trying to get to the buzzer at this point. Something amazing happened here. Something that I really haven't seen too much of, in the NBA. Coby White decided to go out there and hit 4 straight 3-pointers in a span of 1 minute. 1 minute, he rattled off 12 points. Amazing. That's like some Klay Thompson type of stuff that we used to see back in the day, where you just go out there and just give him the ball and he chucks up shots. Coby White was drilling them threes. He gets to the over 25.5 PRA pretty easily because of that. He finished with 35. Finished with 27 points. Just amazing little spurt that he had in a minute of this game. It was amazing. Really great to watch there. Wow. Fantastic there on the over. So it was one of those that wasn't looking great because of the blowout situation. But that 1 minute spurt that he had was really, really the tipping point here to go over. And man, that was just amazing to watch him go out there and just chuck up all those threes, and you just drone them. And you had the crowd behind him as well, like just let him shoot it, and he let it fly and he cashed it. So Coby White over 25.5 PRA, very fun one to watch. Those are some of the best ways to cash on a prop. When you get that type of situation, you see a guy just go out there and just take over the game like that. It's amazing. So really great read once again. Rudy Gobert under 27.5. If you guys listened to my analysis yesterday, I said that we were going to play the blowout narrative in this game. Well, it turned out the Jazz actually won this game outright. So this game was competitive. And Gobert played his full allotment of minutes. But this line was definitely too high for this kind of spot. And it definitely was. He finished with 21 PRA, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Typical kind of Rudy Gobert game. And that's another reason why I didn't understand why this line was at 27.5. This line actually dropped to 24.5, I believe, at one point during the day. I believe it might have climbed back up, but I mean, it was a clear misprice here by the line here being at 20. I think it was at 27.5. Yep. So 27.5, I saw that right away. I was like, that just seems really, really high for a guy like Rudy Gobert. I mean, not saying that he can't get it, but it just felt high. And on the other side of this game, Jusuf Nurkic got a triple-double in this game. So how about that? I believe he had like 15 points and like 20 rebounds and like 10 assists. Jusuf Nurkic dominated this game here. And kind of him and Keontae George both kind of led the Jazz to victory here. So, yeah, Gobert wasn't really a factor. And if you guys also listened to my analysis in that video yesterday, I said take Anthony Edwards over. I believe I said he was probably my top option if you guys wanted to take an over for this game, if this game did stay competitive. And surely enough, it stayed competitive. Ant went for like 35, I believe. He smashed any kind of over you would have had on him. So, we were all over this game in terms of reads, except for the game flow, I guess. I guess we said that the Jazz were going to get blown out by like 30 points. That didn't happen. But in terms of the props, we were spot on here. So, now we're going to get to the one that brought it home for us here in that late window. Russell Westbrook, over 27.5 PRA. He finished with 31. And man, oh man, was this a big-time sweat here in this game. So, we're going to take it right to the fourth quarter here. We got the Kings and the Heat here. I believe the score was like 101 to like 89 or something like that entering the fourth quarter, I believe. It was like a 10 to 15 point advantage by the Heat, and to start that fourth quarter. So like a few minutes went on in fourth quarter. Westbrook hasn't gotten back into the game yet, and I'm just saying, Kings keep the game close so Westbrook can come back into the game. That's all I was hoping for at this point in the game. Just give Westbrook a chance to go out here and have a chance. So he had 19 PRA. Entering the fourth quarter. So we needed him to get 10 or 8, depending on which line you guys had. I know the line actually did jump to 28.5. So I don't know what kind of line you guys put this in at, but I had it at 27.5. So I just needed him to get 8 more points. I mean, not 8, 9 more points to get to 28 PRA. So we need him to get 9 PRA in the span of 8 minutes of game time left. That's about the time that he came back into this game. So, it was like a 15-point game, 15-point lead by the Heat with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So we were like, all right, Westbrook, I know you're not known for your like scoring ability per se, but we need you to score some damn points here. So, as this game starts moving along here in that fourth quarter, I believe there's like 5 minutes left. He was able to get a few assists in there, a couple assists, I believe. So he's at like 22 PRA with about 4 minutes left in this game. and it's still like a 10 point advantage here for the Heat. So it's not like a blowout. The Kings are still in this game. And another surprising factor about this rotation for the Kings is there was no Zach LaVine on the court. So, I don't know if this was just a personal coach's decision saying LaVine, you're just not good anymore. But LaVine was not on the court here in that fourth quarter very much at all. So, LaVine, I don't know if there's just some kind of hatred between him and the Kings. But, he's usually going to be one of your big star players. He wasn't on the court for that, really the closing of the fourth quarter. So, Westbrook, 4 minutes left. We need freaking 6 points to go to the over 27.5. And he decides to go on a heater of his own, similar to what Coby White did, but not the same. But there was 3 straight possessions where Russell Westbrook said, you know what? The Heat are kind of playing a no threes defense, so he's just going to attack and get 3 straight layups. So I believe that puts him at 27 and a half. He was at 27 at one point with like 2 minutes left in this game. So we just need him to get one more PRA in the last 2 minutes of this game. So I believe there's like 1:48 left on the clock. I believe was the possession where they ran a pick and pop with DeMar DeRozan. He ran a pick and pop with DeRozan. He threw it to him. DeRozan was hesitating a little bit. I was like, DeRozan, shoot the ball. We just need one more assist or something here from Russell Westbrook here. DeRozan shot it. He cashed it. Got to the 28 PRA line, which helped me out. But I know some other people had this at 28.5 in the Discord that were sweating out that last stat. But Westbrook put it on himself. He was able to get another bucket there. And he eventually finished up with 31 PRA. So, a combo stat is always the way to go on a guy like Westbrook. He's a guy that's always known for stuff in the stat sheet. But in this game here, you guys can see, he can also score sometimes as well. So he didn't really have the biggest, rebound and assist day. He had 9 rebounds and assists total, but he finished with 22 points. So, he didn't really shoot the 3 ball that well either. But again, he was pretty efficient from the field, 9 for 14. You'll take that out of Westbrook anytime you can get it. Very, very strong day here for the 4 props. So, you guys can see on the screen, I split up the 2 props as well. So, very, very profitable day here on my end. And for some people in the Discord as well that tailed it. So, hopefully you guys also tailed some of these and you got some nice little profitable wins yesterday. But we're looking to run it back here once again. I got 4 more props lined up for you guys. So, let's just go ahead and jump into the props here for today. So, for the first prop here for today, we're going to be targeting Shai Gilgeous-Alexander more than 43.5 PRA. Got him projected at 50.5. We got the Thunder taking on the Bucks here in this matchup. The current spread for this game is OKC is favored by 9.5 with a 226.5 point total. So the game environment isn't the greatest scoring environment here in terms of the pace, but there is a lot of injuries here for this OKC roster to talk about here. So Jalen Williams, he's out. J-Dub, I should say. And then Jay Will, the center Jalen Williams, he is currently listed as questionable. So, and of course Caruso's out as well. So it's going to be back to, how this was at the beginning of the year with Shai and Chet really running the show for the Thunder here. And I really love this spot here for Shai. I really love it a lot. I got him rejected at 50.5, and I mean, 43.5 just seems a little too low for a guy like Shai in this kind of matchup here with no J-Dub out there. No Caruso, possibly no Jay Will. So there's going to be tons of, upside for Shai in this game, just all around, really. Again, there's rebound and assist upside going to be there, but I think he's live to have a 5+ rebound day easily. Again, with no J Dub out there, I get those two confused a lot. But J Dub, he's a guy that plays the forward position. Usually is one of their better rebounders. And, I understand they do have Chet in the game, so, Chet's probably going to be their primary rebounder, but they're going to need Shai to step up in the rebounding department. I think he does here. He should be able to get 5+ rebounds, and he should be able to have the ball in his hands a lot more than usual with no J-Dub out there. So, he already has the ball in his hands a lot anyway, and usually we see his lines around like 41.5 on the PRA line. So they did adjust it a couple upwards. I don't think that's enough, to be honest. So, I mean, again, on the year, you guys can see he's smashed this line in 23 out of 42 games this year. And a majority of those games that he did go over were without Jalen Williams or J-Dub out there. So, yeah, I think this is a spot here where Shai's going to be able to have a lot of success. Again, I think the injury situation is going to make this game actually pretty competitive. I think the Bucks do play competitive here. The Bucks are also coming off a win in their last game as well. So the Bucks are a struggling team looking to get on a little bit of a winning streak here. I think the Bucks play well. I think the Bucks might actually have a chance to upset the Thunder here in this matchup. But, you know, as long as this game stays competitive for 4 quarters, Shai's probably going to be out there a lot more anyway. He probably plays a couple extra minutes with the losses that they have. I think the Bucks make some runs. Maybe they play with a little bit of a lead. Maybe Shai is called on a little bit more for some usage and minutes in this game. So Shai's in for a smash game in my opinion. Really love Shai a lot here for today for pick number 1. Jumping into pick number 2, we're going to be targeting Zion Williamson over 23.5 points plus assists. Got him at 28.1. So we got the Pelicans taking on the Pistons here. The Pistons are 9.5 point favorites, 232.5 point total. So a very, solid game environment, pretty average NBA game environment here. And I really love this line a lot. You guys can see the trends on the screen. He's hit this in 20 out of 29 games this year. So that's a very, very strong data point right there. My projection likes him to go over as well. So 2 data points you guys got right there that are very, very strong. And I understand it. The Pistons have a very, very good defense. Pretty good paint defense with Duren in there. But, I mean, Zion, he should be able to get to this line. He should be able to. I know it's a tough matchup. The line's adjusted downward accordingly. But I think this is a line that Zion can definitely get. He can easily get this just by scoring points alone. So, he's a guy that I think if the Pistons do try to stop Zion, Zion's going to get downhill. Maybe he makes some lob passes inside with Derek Queen. Maybe he picks and pops a little bit. Depending on how the Pistons play defense, Zion's probably going to have the ball in his hands a lot anyway. I think Zion, he's been actually scoring the ball pretty good recently. You guys can see on the screen. Over his last, 6 to 7 games, he's been really scoring the ball pretty efficiently. So, I mean, Zion's been playing pretty well recently. I'm playing the trends with Zion here on the season. He's been pretty well at this line. I mean, this is a gettable line here for Zion easily. I know it's a tough matchup, but I mean, the Pelicans are at home for this game as well, so I think being at home is also going to help Zion out a little bit. So I really love this line a lot. These 2 picks right here alone, I really, really do like a lot. So jumping into pick number 3, we're going to be taking Sandro Mamukelashvili under 20.5 PRA. Got him at 19. So there's not a lot of unders that I like today, so this is one that caught my eye a little bit. I mean, you don't really want to pay attention to the graph here, over the season. He's gone under 30 out of 42 games this year at 20.5. But you guys can see on screen, over his last 15, he has been playing a lot more in the rotation for this game, and that's because of no Jakob Poeltl being in there. So Sandro has been called upon to play more minutes, and he has been producing in the minutes that he has been given. But Jakob Poeltl is questionable for this game. There is a chance that Jakob Poeltl plays. If he plays, Sandro will be limited a little bit. I got him to play 20 minutes right now. That's because I expect Poeltl to play. Another factor for this game for the Raptors rotation is Colin Murray Boyles is questionable. So that's 2 centers for the Raptors that are questionable for this game. I think, in my opinion, they both would be ahead of Sandro in a regular rotation if they're all healthy. So this is a risky pick as of right now. We kind of take these picks, and they've been working over the last couple days. We're going to take the under, and hopefully guys that are questionable end up playing. I think at this current line, they're expecting at least one of Poeltl and Boyles to not play. But I'm going to take the other side of this game. I'm going to take the risk. This is a risky pick because there is a chance that Poeltl and Boyles don't play. And if they don't play, the over is going to be the play for this pick. So you guys get to decide on this one. If you guys want to take the over, if you guys think that Pirtle and Boyles aren't going to play, Sandro's going to smash 20.5. But on the other hand, if Pirtle and Boyles both play, the under is going to be the play here. So it's one of those. I'm leaving it up to you guys, but I'm going to take the under here. And if there's like one of them out, it's probably going to be, he's probably going to play about 20 minutes. That's probably what he's going to play. If one of them is in, one of them is out. But if they're both in, this rotation is going to have question mark around it. And the minute situation is going to be questions as well. Because this is a Kings team that doesn't play very big. They got Sabonis back, but I mean, they don't like to play really. They like to play a little bit more small ball with their rotations that they play. So it could help Sandro out a little bit. Sandro does, seem to thrive more in the small ball type of matchups. But yeah, injury situation is the question mark around this pick. Maybe I shouldn't pick this kind of pick, but I think I have a good read here on Pirtle and Boyles. I think they both could have a chance to play here. So give me Sandro under 20.5 PRA. Before we get to the last pick, real quick, guys, if you guys haven't already, drop a like on this video. You guys have been killing these videos recently. Keep on doing that. I drop free daily wins on a free daily basis. So keep on doing that. Really do appreciate it. You guys have been awesome. So let's go ahead and jump into the last pick for the NBA player props today. We're going to be targeting Nick Claxton over 21 PRA. Got him at 26.1. Another tough matchup here. We got the Knicks taking on the Nets here. And the Knicks are 10.5 point favorites, 224.5 point total. So it's not the greatest game environment either in terms of pace and scoring. Similar to Zion Williamson. Similar to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's probably the worst game environment out of the whole slip here today. But I see this as another gettable line here for Claxton. I know it's a tough matchup on paper. The Knicks do match up very well against centers. But you guys can see on the screen, Claxton has smashed this line at 25 out of 39 games this year. And he also plays like the most minutes on this roster outside of, Michael Porter Jr. He's going to be out there at least 32 to 34 minutes in this game. As long as he stays out of foul trouble. You got Brunson on the other side of this game. Brunson's a flopper. Brunson will draw fouls on big guys a lot. So, as long as Claxton stays out of the foul trouble, because I know he does tend to get in foul trouble, and that kind of screws some of his, rotational minutes up. Also, Day'Ron Sharpe is questionable for this game, the backup center for the Nets. So, if he's out, Claxton's going to play more minutes anyway. I think he'd allowed to play 35 minutes in this game. So, 21.5 for a guy like Nick Claxton in this kind of matchup, I'm going to smash the over. I know it's a tough matchup on paper. I know the Knicks play very good defense on centers, but I mean, this line is adjusted downward. The books did adjust this line down. Usually these lines are up to like 23.5, 24.5 for Claxton. They've adjusted it down to 21.5. But Claxton's a guy that can really do a lot on the floor. He really can. He can get rebounds pretty efficiently. He's also a guy that can get assists. He's averaging right around 3 or 4 assists a game on the season. So he can have a big assist game here and there. He's also a guy that always scores, 10 plus points usually every game. So we just need him to grab about 6 or 7 rebounds. Score, roughly 10 plus points, and he should be able to get 3 assists, and we're right there at 21, and he could easily go upward through any one of those stat categories. So as long as he stays out of foul trouble, I think that's my only risk here, because the Knicks have a lot of floppers on their team. Towns and Brunson, they're both, I hate watching them play. I'm a Knicks hater anyway, but watching them both play, they really just flop all the time. It's kind of ridiculous. So, foul trouble is definitely in play here for Claxton. As long as he stays out of foul trouble, Claxton should be able to smash this line and get to the over here, 21.5 POA. So that's the NBA player props I got for you guys. 4 more today. Let's go ahead and run it back. Back-to-back 4-0 sweeps. I think we can get it done here today. Got 3 overs, 1 under. See how it plays out. Usually I like going with more unders, but I'm going with a lot more overs today. See how it plays out. So that's the NBA player props I got for you guys today. Once again, if you guys enjoyed it, smash a like on this video. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Drop free daily picks every single day. And that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.